Joining us now is OjyOkpe with stories trending around the world.
It just gets louder and louder. Hey. Dr. Abati, really. Good morning, Ayomide. How are you?
I'm very well.
Fantastic. Good morning. Good morning, Rufai.
Oji, it's this wonderful dress you're wearing.
Now, wow.
What film me? Superior.
Italian today. Okay. All right, Rufai. Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In Turkey, a new 6.4 magnitude earthquake on Monday struck the town of Defne in the country's Hatay province, one of the worst hit regions in the magnitude 7.8 earthquake that struck on February 6th. The 6.4 quake was felt in Syria, Jordan, Cyprus, Israel, and as far away as Egypt, and was followed by a second magnitude 5.8 trembler. 3 persons are said to have been killed and more than 200 injured as search and rescue efforts continue in parts of Turkey laid waste 2 weeks ago in the disaster that killed tens of thousands. In Ukraine, United States President Joe Biden made a surprise visit to the country on Monday to meet with President Volodymyr Zelensky in a defiant display of Western solidarity with a country still fighting what he called a brutal and unjust war. Days before the first anniversary of Russia's invasion, Biden spent more than 5 hours in the Ukrainian capital, consulting with Zelensky on next steps, honoring the country's fallen soldiers, and seeing U.S. Embassy staff in the besieged country. In Nigeria, election observer missions arrived in Abuja on Monday ahead of the February 25th election. The observers consist of a 40-member delegation from 20 countries headed by former Malawi President Joyce Banda and the Commonwealth Observer Group to Nigeria, headed by former South African President Thabo Mbeki, leading a group of 16 eminent persons from around the Commonwealth to observe one of the most dynamic elections in the country's history. Then, the Olu of Warri, Olu Atuashe III, on Monday, charged Nigerians to be thorough and deliberate in their choice of those to lead them in order not to repeat mistakes of the past. The Warri monarch, who gave the charge in a video message titled "A Call for Peace and Participation in the General Elections," said that it was time for Nigerians to show that their voices matter.
I implore you to go out and vote. It is one day that will shape the next 4 to 8 years of our country. One day that will determine the destiny of Nigeria, and in turn, our own destinies and the destinies of our children.
Finally, under entertainment, highlights of the performance by Nigerian Grammy Award-winning singers Damini Ogulu, popularly known as Burna Boy, and Temilade Okpeni, also known as Thames, as well as Afrobeat star Divine Kubo, who goes by the stage name Rema, at the 2023 NBA All-Star Game halftime show held in Salt Lake City, Utah, in the United States on Sunday, has gone viral. Congratulations to our Nigerian stars. Well, let's begin what's trending. The governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom, on Monday set social media abuzz after revealing that he is ready to sacrifice his senatorial ambition in the National Assembly election this Saturday if it will ensure the victory of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. Ortom made the revelation while addressing members of the Igbo community in the state.
It's not even that I'm contesting the election. Yes. The forms was bought for me by the people of Benue State. I've gone round. They have accepted that they will vote me. But if I'm to sacrifice my senatorial ambition for Peter Obi to win, so shall it be. Obi matter is not about PDP or APC or SDP or any other party. It's about Nigeria. Peter Obi is a species that is not bounded by ethnicity. And that is why when I hear some prominent Igbo personalities castigating Peter Obi for contesting election, is it not you Igbos that have been saying that you have been marginalized since after the war? Opportunity have come today and you're still complaining. What do you want? What are you looking for? What do you want? The whole country, north, south, east, and west, are saying that Peter Obi. And you hear some people say, we don't want it. Haba. Those people should be outcasts. But I was praying, and one of my spiritual father told me something. He said, look, Obi will win the election. And he added, he said, look, God does not want Obi to be Igbo president. He wants him to be Nigeria's president.
Well, in the meantime, the media director of the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council, Bayo Onanuga, on Monday scored an own goal by promoting the presidential candidate of the Labour Party Peter Obi with a tweet he shared of a northern businessman singing Peter Obi's praises. Bayo Onanuga's tweet, which has since been deleted, was prompted by a headline written by a Twitter user named Chimes, who posted the video of the northern businessman with the caption, "Peter Obi exposed. Finally, northerners who lived in Anambra while he was governor speak up. The man is not who some of you say he is." Well, Bayo Onanuga, without watching the video, reposted the tweet from Chimes with the caption, "We have said it countless times. Peter Obi is not who his supporters claim he is." Well, here's what the northern businessman had to say about Peter Obi.
What make me like Peter Obi? The damn way they governor for this Anambra. Yes. Now only Peter Obi come our mosque. Okay. Come enter inside the time where they do fasting. Yes. You go stay for our mosque. Me what Peter Obi the chop. He could 2 motor. Wow. For rice and everything. Wow. One for our mosque. For this Oka mosque. Wow. One chop for our for the time where we do fasting. That's why I like Peter Obi. Wow. Thank you.
Well, as the campaign of the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress progresses, his wife, Oluremi Tinubu, last week during a town hall meeting with people living with disabilities in Abuja, countered the belief of many who say that her husband, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is wealthy, affirming that his popularity is based on his compassion and generosity.
Asiwaju's secret is not about money, contrary to what people think. He's a very compassionate man. I can tell you that. And generous. There's nothing he cannot give. There's nothing he cannot give. Asiwaju, does Asiwaju really handle money? Not really. I will tell you I remember after I finished as governor, we used to have this staff at home. If you need anything, he will say, go and meet so and so. I said, how would I be collecting money from your staff? He said, that's where I collect too. If you like to, fine, you know. And that is who he is. When they say he owns the money of the world, I just wonder. Mr. Shetima knows that I will beg him, before we went to Kano yesterday, I was begging him just to give me 2 million naira. I begged, at the end of the day, when he even gave me, I forgot it. Because it was Mr. Shetima who went to the house to pick it up for me. I packed it, but it was very late. You know, even today, if you had asked us to give you anything, if I have anything in my bag, maybe 150,000, that's what is there. But and I keep telling people, it's not about money. The crowd you see in the rally is not about money. is somebody they believe that can give them hope in these trying times.
What can we say? We've always said it on the program, the campaigners or the, the people that are campaigning for Bola Ahmed Tinubu are doing more harm than good. I mean, Oluremi Tinubu was trending when that video came out. And also yesterday, there was a story that came out that she said that her husband is not over-ambitious. He's only trying to reap what he has sown over the years. Dr. Bati.
Well, first, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, or Senator Oluremi Tinubu, as she's otherwise known. Well, what do you expect? There is something in common law, family law, that is called the doctrine of the unity of spouse. And the basic principle is that wife and husband, in the eyes of the law, are considered a legal unity. So you can't expect that a wife will say negative things about her husband. Now, we've seen it with the example of Mrs. Abubakar, Mrs. Titi Abubakar. Yeah. We've seen it with the example of Mrs. Margaret Obi, going about with her. So it's because husband and wife, there's this presumption of unity between them. And what Mrs. Tinubu is saying is that, look, our husband does not handle money. Tinubu is not like a Feni now. He's always boasting. He's always boasting that he will give people new notes. He will give people new notes. He's the only one who goes to a bank where they give new notes on a regular basis. He was still boasting yesterday.
Really?
But I asked him, he couldn't provide new notes.
I stand in his defense.
Don't worry, he may still perform. But some people, don't even need to carry money about. And she says the man is compassionate, that he means well, that the crowd that you see at the rallies don't collect money. It's not about money.
It's not about money.
And that even when she needs money, she had to ask the Shetimas to make money available. Ayo, please, let me know somebody that can give me, that can beg for 2 million too. The kind of 2 million I will collect and I will keep somewhere. And I will forget to spend it. That's the way it goes. As for Mr. Bayo Onanuga, these mistakes happen. So I'm sure he will have learned his lesson from it. Next time he will be more careful. He will not be quick to retreat, because when you retweet something, it's taken as an endorsement of that position. His goal was not to promote Peter Obi. That could not have been the original intention. And then, of course, the governor of Benue State, who is campaigning for Mr. Peter Obi. Okay, that's one leg of the G5 who has made his choice public. We don't know what the other G5 members will decide upon. The governor of Rivers, he is still keeping his own choice under the wraps, even if he says people of Rivers State should not vote for somebody who will kill him. They should not vote for somebody who will send him to jail. Why is he afraid? If he has not done anything that will warrant anybody to kill him or send him to jail. But these are individuals, whatever their political beliefs, they also have the right to make their own choice. Yes. And so here publicly, we have Governor Samuel Ortom saying he believes that Peter Obi is the right choice. And he was urging Igbos, the Igbo audience where he was, to support their own man. Yeah. After all, they've complained about marginalization. Now is the time to vote for Peter Obi.
That was quite apt.
Maybe he was speaking out of excitement, because he was being given a chieftaincy title, something Egejimba, I think Buruburu worldwide. Okay. I hope he will add that to his CV.
I'm sure.
There's election time.
Yes,
people are free to make their own choices.
Absolutely. Rufa, you've been cracking up. Please share with us.
Today is a laughing. I'm laughing. At first, Ms. Oluremi Tinubu said, she said her husband is not rich. The same husband that went to Osun that says richer than Osun State. Or should they play that video? It's the husband himself that said. So the same husband that claimed that it was his own bullion van that came. Anyway, somebody said two bullion van misroad. But it was the same husband that said the bullion van is mine. Now is it your money? Is your money missing? So somebody that can have 2 bullion vans. My generation has never even seen 1 bullion van.
It's not always that bullion vans carry money.
Okay, remember that was...
Sometimes bullion vans can carry bags of rice.
Okay. Or they can be empty.
It's pure water. William was carrying pure water. So afterwards, they decided they would just borrow 2 million for Mrs. Shetima. Then Mrs. Shetima now has become CBN Abi. Where did she get the 2 million naira new note that she can just borrow? It shows how out of touch from reality these people are. In a country where 98% of the population, according to NDI, says don't have up to 500,000 naira in their bank accounts. He said she just borrowed 2 million naira like that for, as chicken fee in their pocket. So it speaks volumes of how out of touch people are. And like in street parlance, you see, what that person that posted that message did to Mr. Bayo Onanuga is what they call what Bola handicap. What it means is that they tricked him. Can you imagine? He could do. He said he didn't know. He just retweeted. But is he not a journalist? Are these not the ones that keep saying that we are not professionals?
Exactly.
That say arise, journalists are not professionals. But they are the ones that can't even verify a story before they retweet. And when we ask now, they say, veteran journalists and all of that.
No. It's a veteran journalist.
Okay.
And a distinguished one.
No, I'm saying...
He's not functioning in this capacity as a journalist. Okay. He's functioning as a spin doctor.
Okay, it's called as a spin doctor. Okay, so spin doctor.
Don't let us take away from his distinguished career.
Okay, so now, Dr. Abbas, now that you have clarified that, so if he makes any inferences against our professional conduct here as journalists, I would take it that he's functioning as a spin doctor, not journalist. Because this person in question has casted aspersions on our professional conduct as journalists, denigrating us and berating us and saying that we are not journalists. And that's why I take exception to that, because the first fact of every story is for you to be able to verify before you put it out there. So why delete it afterwards? And you can just come out and own up that it's a mistake. Thirdly, the man that said he will support Peter Obi come what may based on his own ambitions. Governor Samuel Ortom. You see, that's his choice, but please let us also remind you that he's actively doing anti-party activity. And anything he faces from there is anti-party activity. And nobody can save him when the PDP brings their big stick.
But he says he doesn't mind. He doesn't mind at all. So
no. At least he's been bold enough to be able to put his money where his mouth is. We are still waiting for Governor Wike to come out and use his chest and say, this is my candidate, I anoint him and endorse him. It's as simple as that. But the G5 is already in disarray.
It's now G4.
Okay.
All right.
Even the four is standing on one leg because we don't know where the other governors who they align with. There's Governor Gwayin, there's Governor Kwazu, there's Governor Makinde. Only Governor Wike has sort of, just tried to say where he would be leaning towards, or we tried to guess where he would be leaning towards. But to be fair, as we have mentioned, Governor Samuel Ortom is just one man. However, one must praise, particularly in this age where people are more focused on personal interest. When you, at least based on what he said, are more focused on the interest of the Nigerian people, even above your own personal ambition. I believe that when we have people come out to speak like this, it's worthy to be praised. We've just had conversations a few minutes ago with another candidate whom a number of people are accused of serving his personal interests. So when leaders come up like this and can categorically say that I'm willing to, to sacrifice my personal ambition, it's worthy to be praised, because we do castigate them when they do otherwise. And then with regards to Senator Oluremi Tinubu, when I was watching that video very closely, I just couldn't imagine what the audience she was speaking to would be feeling. Don't forget that she was speaking before quite a vulnerable group in society. And when you want to speak to people like that during a campaign, you want to identify with them. In communication, you speak the language of the people that you're speaking to. However, when you're speaking to them and you have no touch with reality, with their reality, it is obvious when you make statements like this, and this is what pushes young Nigerians to being desperate for any opportunity to make money. Because if you can speak about 2 million naira in a country that's plagued with high poverty, it's sad to see that. So to me, I have only 150,000 naira in my some people cannot boast of that as a salary per month. What is the minimum wage in Nigeria? It's 30,000 naira. So you have 5 months salary of the average Nigerian in your purse has changed. This is not reality. So unfortunately, it didn't do well. It actually made it even worse, what she said.
Very well said, Ayo. Very well said. Well, let's take our final story. It's a story that has been trending on social media. Coming out of Anambra State, it's a story that formed part of the 2020 End SARS movement against police brutality, which resulted in the disbandment of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS. In a series of social media posts that went viral over the weekend, a chief superintendent of the Nigerian police force, Patrick Agbazue, was accused of being a serial killer by an investigative blogger, Gist Lover. The investigative report exposed alleged atrocities committed by the CSP and his team of officers, Nkeiruka, Nwode, and Harrison Akama. The report claimed that the officers illegally arrest their victims, label them as unknown gunmen, and then torture them to accept the labeling before killing them and taking possession of their vehicles and other valuables. The victims' bodies are reportedly deposited in a private morgue called the New World Mortuary in Ntije, or thrown into a river. The report goes on to explain that the CSP and his team are reportedly worse than their infamous predecessor, James Nwafo, who was accused of similar crimes during his tenure as head of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad in Anambra. The report has caught the attention of the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, who has called for an immediate investigation, as well as the attention of the Anambra State Governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, who has pledged to ensure that the 3 officers accused of extrajudicial killings and illegal arrests in the state face the full wrath of the law if found guilty. Dr. Abati, this story was trending over the weekend. It was quite horrific to see some of those graphic images that
I saw the story.
Blogger posted.
But we must all desist from media trial.
Yes.
Nobody should be tried in the media unless that person has been named and found guilty.
Yes.
The second thing is that, yes, this is from whistleblowers. I think it's Gist Niger blog.
Gist Lover.
Gist Lover blog, you know, that does investigations into many issues and then puts it out there. In this case, it affects the police. And the Inspector General of Police has done well by ordering an investigation. So we cannot prejudge the outcome of that investigation. But the issues raised are serious enough for the Inspector General of Police to have acted, just at least to investigate. I hope that the kind of diligence that he has devoted to this will be applied to other cases when reports are made. And it's also good that the governor of Anambra State has also said he's supporting the police and that they should get to the root of it. Because police brutality, extrajudicial killing, any kind of abuse of uniform or privilege is unacceptable.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all for your great analysis on what's trending. We hope this case is thoroughly investigated and the SARS that was disbanded in 2020 will be over. Well, that's all I have for you on what's trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.